welcome back to the Kit and Krysta podcast, episode 21. Very exciting.
So this means the podcast's old enough to go to mosey up to the bar and get itself a drink, right? Is that how it works? Tell me, am I right or am I right?
Oh, that's the worst way to start a podcast ever.
That's the open you wanted to hear.
Today we are going to be telling you a never-before-heard story about a lost episode of Nintendo Minute that was sadly never able to air.
This is one of the stories that I have wanted to tell since we started the podcast. I'm very excited for this.
Exactly. Me too. Finally, we have a place to share this story, this very sad story. We also will go into depth on the Nintendo Direct Mini, which turned out to be quite the show. So we have some fun things to share from that. If this is your first episode, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Krysta.
And I'm Kit.
And you guys might remember us from when we worked at Nintendo for collectively, 25 years?
More than 25. Wow.
More than 25 years. And we, of course, created Nintendo Minute. So thanks for joining us today. All right. Everything that we do here is made possible by our wonderful Patreon family. So thank you so much. And if you would like to subscribe to our Patreon, it is patreon.com/KitandKrysta. There's tons of benefits like bonus Q&As and access to our Discord channel and all these other things that are just really, really fun. So hopefully you'll join us there.
And like they say, the start of a new month is the best time to sign up for a Patreon. So check it out.
Well, why are we here in these boxes today, you might ask? Why?
It's our first remote podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, I have to say. I feel like it's a little off for me right now.
Well, this is how we do our bonus Q&A every week, so it's not like we've never done it.
That's true, but it's just like a little bit, it's not as nice as being in the studio, obviously.
That's true.
But we both have some vacation time over the last couple of weeks because it's 4th of July. So this is the only time we could find to get together to do this week. So this is how we're doing.
Yes, it's holiday season here in the U.S. You and I are kind of like ships in the night because I just got back from a vacation today. You're going on a vacation tomorrow, which ironically is on a ship. So that's a very apt phrase for me to use.
I will have very limited signal tomorrow.
Can't podcast from a boat, or can you?
If you have good internet, probably, but I don't know how my internet's
not
going
to
to be.
Risk it.
might not work. So here we are, 8 p.m. on a Saturday night.
Let's go.
Casting pod. Wow, it's different, but I
best way to spend a Saturday night,
it's
right?
Very cozy. I have my tea in this beautiful Kit and Krysta
with a Pikmin poking out of it. I see.
Pikmin. It's the tea holder. It's very cute.
Pull it out all the way. Is that a Pikmin or not?
No, it's not. Why would I put a Pikmin into a boiling hot thing of water?
Because that's the kind of person you are.
It's not very nice at all.
All right.
We posted a video last week with our Nintendo Direct Mini reactions.
Sure did.
We kind of had very, not low hopes, I would say. Would you say low hopes? I would say we were we had our expectations managed by Nintendo going into this thing. We didn't really have too many predictions. It kind of, snuck up on us a little bit. So we did a fun little reaction video. There was ended up to be tons of news and good stuff in this mini that we'll get to in the news section of this podcast. But if you wanted to see our reaction video, it is live now. You can watch it with us.
Yeah, to be fair, the last partner direct was not great.
No.
So I think we were fair to go into this with some perhaps low expectations.
Yeah, we were, and everything that Nintendo did kind of leading up to this partner showcase was all to manage the expectations, and we kind of saw the little signs, the little writings on the wall, it's only 25 minutes, it's a mini, it's a third-party showcase, so you knew that kind of not big announcements were going to be in it, but there was some good stuff. We were pleasantly surprised, I think, as well as many of you, because I think a lot of people had the same reaction as us.
Excuse you, it was roughly 25 minutes.
Roughly.
The key
always
word.
roughly.
Roughly. Not
approximately.
No.
Not generally, but roughly. What else did we do? We were in Orange County a couple weeks ago, and we decided to do part 2 of our gaming headquarter tier list in Orange County. So we went to 3 pretty fun video game companies in the area. Your favorite and mine, Sega. Actually, I don't have beef with Sega, so it is actually
well. That's in the
fun.
Q&A this week. Is what are Krysta's thoughts on Sega and Sonic? So we can look forward to that.
Yeah,
that was so. Yeah, so we went to Sega, we went to Bandai Namco, we went to Blizzard.
Yes,
and we came up with the definitive rankings, which were surprising in the end. I'll say
they were very surprising. They totally were unexpected for me. So
Sega was a very strange stop because. It's unclear. They had an office. The sign was there.
Yeah.
It was unclear if they were actually conducting business there or if it was just like an empty room.
It was a little shady. And if you guys watch the video, you'll see why. Because there was a lot of confusion getting to understand where they were actually located.
I'm still confused, honestly.
I'm a little confused too. People that work at Sega, tell us if you actually work in that office or if you're just all remote. Maybe that's
Katie, my new best friend, manages the Sonic Twitter account. Please
stop harassing Katie.
Connect with me, and we need to talk about this.
Oh my goodness, poor Katie.
But we also had our first security intervention.
Yeah.
I mean, we snoop around these places. We're being respectful, of course.
We are.
I mean,
we're not like trespassing,
trying to get down the chimney like Santa Claus or anything here. But I mean, we were just kind of hanging out, minding our business, filming something, and the security guard just made a beeline for us.
Yeah.
And to her credit, she let us finish what we were filming, and then she said, "Get out."
She did.
In the most polite way possible.
She also said, "If I'm in the video in any way, please edit me out." Yeah. I was like, "Oh,"
which you did. I
did exactly what
I wasn't
she wanted
sure. I don't know.
Me to do. I did exactly.
You could be a spiteful editor.
No, I'm not. I'm a very polite editor. You tell me what to do and I'll do it. Edit me into a robot so I look really cool. Okay. Edit the gameplay footage so I look like a really good speedrunner. Okay. I'll do it.
So we've now come up with 2 definitive ranking videos across California. And like we said in that video, if there's somewhere else you want us to go to rank a video game headquarters building, please tell us.
We are likely, like I would say in the 90th percentile likely. You don't know where I'm going with this. You're giving me
I don't know what you're saying.
Probably going to go to PAX this year.
Yes.
So we might go back to our old stomping grounds and do another ranking video there.
That's true. That'd be a fun one.
We have True Nintendo HQ, which obviously we know very, very well. Maybe we can figure out one other. Oh, you know where we can go? We can hit up Eric and see if he'll let us go to Valve.
Yeah, there's a lot up there. We can check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did put in for a panel. We put in a proposal to do a panel at PAX. Hopefully they say yes. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we've never had to do that before. I mean, if we wanted to do something at PAX, we would just like tell somebody and be like, all right, you're in. So it's a little bit stressful. It's a little bit nerve wracking. I don't know. What if they say no? My ego is going to be crushed. What am I going to do?
What are we going to do?
What am I going to do?
And then, of course, I go through the panic of like, no one's going to show up. This is going to be the worst thing ever. And then I panic like big time.
You do go through a weird emotional roller coaster before one of these things.
I'm kind of on it right now, actually.
I feel like you kind of should be over it by now, but I don't know. You can do you.
I think it's worse than ever, actually. But anyways, I digress. We also have another fun video in the
coming up.
The hopper.
Yes.
Is that what they call it?
What is a hopper? I don't know. I think it's some sort of a farming mechanism.
Farming is a farming term. Yeah. We have another video. You guys really liked our countdown, like top 10 Nintendo Direct moments, and a lot of people in the comments were like, "Well, what about press conferences?" And we thought, yes. What about them? So we are doing a fun top 10 moments from Nintendo E3 press conferences. And these are really special because there's never going to be another press conference again. So these are like for the history books, which is kind of cool. And like our Nintendo Direct top 10, it's the top 10 good and bad. So there's some doozies in there.
But what if that is the new Nintendo Think Different moved at E3 2023. It's like, no,
They do a
we're
press
coming
conference?
back with this.
They're
press
coming back
conference.
with Mr.
We brought Robbie
Miyamoto and the
Drums
Master
back.
Sword. We brought Robbie Drums
And now he has the
back.
Master Sword. And he's flailing it in an off rhythm way.
Oh my! And Mr. Miyamoto's playing like
a Wii remote,
freeform jazz saxophone
Yeah.
on a real saxophone this time. I'm here for it. Invite me
for Switch music.
for
Yeah.
Switch. It's for Super Switch U music.
Things are cyclical, you see.
I see.
It's come around.
Vitality
It's cool
Sensor
now.
is coming back.
It's like the Star Wars
freeform
prequels.
jazz.
It's like, you know what? That was actually a great press conference. I grew up on that press conference.
I would believe it. I would believe it if that happened. Honestly, like everyone is different. We're all different now. We're in different places. We're maybe in a place where we love Robbie Drums. I don't know. Where are we? Right? Anyways, we have that video coming your way. And it was fun for me to look back for sure. And like we both rewatched a lot of those we watched all of them to get to this top 10 list. And it was like really fun. I mean, I had like a cool like Ratatouille core memory moment, for some of these, which was pretty cool.
My conclusion after doing all that research was it's for the best that they've moved on, to be quite honest. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like now, with the digital sort of Nintendo Direct kind of the autopilot move, like you would never have those kind of risky things that happen. So maybe it is for the best. Yeah. Well, shall we get into our story time for today?
Let's. And maybe as a little segue to this is, again, going back to the video where we just visited Blizzard. We knew that we would not be getting into Blizzard because we've been there before. And it was for this episode of Nintendo Minute that never aired. But we were able to use some of the lost footage from that in that video. But that was a real production that we want to share with you today, this lost episode. And I think I lose track. There were either 3 or 4 episodes of Nintendo Minute that we made that never aired.
Yeah.
We want to spread these out. So we're going to talk about just this one today.
Yeah, this one definitely relates to, and you and I had some interesting memories when we were at, near Blizzard a couple weeks ago, because we were thinking about this episode a lot. So we thought it would be good to talk about it today. And since you're going to be watching some of that lost footage that we finally are able to air as part of this game headquarters ranking video, we can talk about this one. But this was a really special one, and it like really hurt me that this wasn't able to come to fruition, because this was something that that you and I were thinking about as sort of this next evolution, and something that we were going to do for Nintendo Minute that took it into this new and pushed it into this new direction that you and I really wanted to do, that we were never able to. So I guess we should start at the beginning. So what year was this? Remind me.
Well, the episode, we filmed that in 2019.
Okay.
But like you said, this was almost like years in the making, because as part of our jobs, we did a lot of travel. You and I traveled together. We were very lucky to make a number of Nintendo Minute episodes in different locations, whether it was, at a PAX or at like Nintendo New York or even in Japan. So we started to get this big idea of like, what if we made a show that went further on that travel aspect and really started to like immerse you in a place and gaming culture and some of the developers that were in location. And it was a perfect fit for us at the time, because we were pushing Nintendo Switch, which was all, anytime, anywhere. And we had, the perfect system to pay off everything that we were saying of like, oh, well, this is the perfect travel companion. So, I mean, there were times where we, pitched this to our executive team, and it was a very easy yes of like, oh, this makes perfect sense.
Right. So, this is a personal passion of ours too. Like you and I both love to travel. So it really just seemed like this really natural evolution for Nintendo Minute, and we were still going to be doing regular Nintendo Minute episodes in the studio, and we had had sort of this idea to do one of these special Nintendo Minute episodes. We actually branded it. We had a logo made. There was a new theme song. Dale worked on the new theme song for this. We had everything done for this. It was called Nintendo Minute on the Go. It was amazing. The logo was adorable and the branding was so good. Dale's music was so good. Such a vibe as usual. He might remember this. And we were like ready to go. We were going to film like 4 episodes a year. We were going to really push ourselves and go to these different locations. And we had some criteria. You know, it was supposed to be a location where there was a gaming developer or a gaming studio, but we would include other things in these videos that were not just video games. We would go to like food places because you and I both really like to eat. And we would like really kind of immerse the viewer into that location as well. And one of the first ones that we tested was supposed to be tied to this Blizzard tour that we were doing in Orange County.
Yeah, so I actually have a duffel bag with a Nintendo Minute on the Go logo. I think you have a fanny pack or something, something else like that. So that's like ultimate collector's item for this thing that never, you talk about the game that never released. We got the merch that never, for this thing that never saw the light of day.
Well, we're kind of scared to share the logo like too widely because I think Nintendo might be mad at us, but we'll share it in our Discord for Patreon.
Or maybe you'll just see me again on the go with this duffel bag. You could snap like a paparazzi shot.
Snap a paparazzi shot with a fanny pack.
Yeah. But I think, also, again, I think you and I, we love to travel. I think we were both really inspired by people like an Anthony Bourdain, who had done such a great job of immersing you in a place and really letting like his voice and his perspective come through. And it's like, there's nobody's really doing that for games necessarily. And I think even, for people who really love games, when you travel, you're still gaming in a sort of a different way. And it's just become so immersed in who you are. It felt like a big opportunity. And there was one show that IGN did with Brian Altano, which I don't know, was it Fast Travel? I'm blanking on the name right now.
Yeah, it was a really well-produced show, and they did go to some really cool places.
They did probably a half dozen episodes. Yeah, he did go to some great places. I remember they had some really big-name sponsors that you could tell, like, the production value was super high.
So high, yeah.
We were looking to do something a little bit different that was a bit kind of more like, on the move, on the go, as you would say. Yeah,
more vlog style, because that's what we liked.
Right.
Very, very unscripted as usual.
Yeah.
We would meet people. Our idea was to, again, go to places that had like some sort of, video game studio or a developer that was there. We wanted to meet them in their environment, like have them take us to their favorite lunch place. And we would like hang out and play games and chat, about video games or the game that they were making or the game that they were developing. So that was sort of the take we wanted to do. And obviously Switch, like you were saying before, was sort of a perfect fit because it was made for that portability part of it. So that was going to be a big part of that too.
Yeah. And we always we would go to a restaurant and film like us playing in a restaurant, but also like show off the food, which was a major addition. And as we got into it, we found out it was a major headache as well.
Yeah, it really was. And in Orange County, we researched like what is some of the like iconic Orange County restaurants that we should maybe stop by. And 2 places came to mind. One we actually went to when we did our gaming HQ rankings. We went to this Coco Curry that we love. That's a Orange County. It's a chain in Orange County. We tried to get a permit to film there for Nintendo Minute on the Go, and it was like working with Nintendo Japan. They were like so strict, and they had so many restrictions, and we were like, okay, this isn't gonna happen.
Yeah, they said they're like, we're interested in what you want to do, but we're also very confused. We think we need to contact our Japan headquarters. And we were both like, oh, no. Do not do that, because somebody at Nintendo HQ is going to get a call from their buddy at Coco Curry headquarters, and it's going to be a whole to-do. And we do not want that. We were going to
get in trouble.
But yeah, like the permitting, because we'd also thought about like, oh, well, what if we filmed on like the Catalina Island and took a ferry? Like we had a lot of ideas. And we
Yeah.
did outreach to a lot of places, and we'd never heard back from most of them.
Yeah.
And we kind of had a crash course on this whole permitting thing, which, Nintendo being, legal by the book, was super insistent that we follow all of that stuff.
Right.
And it was stressful, to be honest, because it felt like we had not planned enough for that, and we had not given ourselves enough time. And it was like,
Yeah.
we really do need some of these other elements to pay off this idea. And there was a stretch of time where I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do it.
Yeah. We ended up with getting a permit at this really like famous taco place, which was also perfect for Orange County. And it all came together for this episode. We were able to like we have some beautiful footage that our production team captured with like drones and stuff when we were at the beach in Orange County.
Well,
I looked back at that video recently and I was just like, wow,
we
like
should
this was
say,
good.
I think our production team like was hyped about this idea because it gave them a chance to really like dig through their toy chest and use some of the stuff that they didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to. Like they brought this
Some of the most
insane camera.
incredible cameras.
If they're like, oh, this costs tens of thousands of dollars, no big deal. But
Yeah.
this, they were toting that around. They brought all these drones. They brought all this stuff. So I
So
think
cool.
they were really enjoying the opportunity to do something pretty
Yeah.
different as
It's
well.
so
Like
true. Like I was
we
gonna say,
had
I
this
think
other.
Nintendo Minute. Oh, okay. You go.
Well, we had this. I mean, again, like we had so many ideas of like how to make it feel different. We were going to do this montage in the car where we were driving to the studio that was kind of set to the music from that game Sayonara Wild Hearts, which had just come out. So it'd be like, oh, we're
Yeah.
playing the game in the car, but the music would be playing, and we'd have like GoPros on the outside, and we'd be driving by the ocean, and it would feel super atmospheric and cool. That was tough. Like we never got far enough in the edit to see that completely paid off. And I swear
Yeah.
we will explain why this video never aired. But it was ambitious. I mean, for us who had just come from, we film in a studio and we do kind of scrappy, like vloggy stuff, like there was a lot of stuff in this that we had never done before. And we were kind of learning by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, true. But I think that was like one of the cool things about this like evolution project that we were doing, because the production team and us, we were all like we were pretty studio bound, except for like some of those videos that we film very scrappily at PAX, or when you and I went to Japan, we like filmed ourselves. It was not like the crazy camera crew that we had for these episodes that we were filming. So it gave like everybody this opportunity to like learn something, use a different skill, learn something new about production. And I think we were all having a lot of fun, even if it was like kind of terrifying sometimes, where you're like,
Right.
this is definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be. It was really fun because we were just getting a chance to like stretch our creative wings, on this project.
Yeah. And, the Blizzard piece of it was, again, we did really want to get inside of a studio, again, to make it feel bigger and different from a normal episode. We needed an opportunity to do that. So it was like, well, where are there studios that are making Switch games? Where are there studios that are making Switch games that are coming out that might want to let us in? It was like this narrowing funnel.
Right.
And around that time, it was like, we'd heard from our third-party licensing team, like, well, there's the Switch version of Overwatch that's coming out soon. And we'd gotten tipped off like, oh, they're going to be having a day where, media and content creators can come in and check it out. And it just happened to click perfectly with the schedule that we were envisioning. And, I think, to be fair, like, Orange County is not like the most like glamorous travel destination or like a big name that we could have put down, but it did tick all of the boxes of the things that we wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for us, it was like a little bit of not a test episode, but a test location, because at least Orange County, it was pretty close to where we already were. It was easy for our team to get there. We were able to like navigate. It wasn't like we needed to go like do all this in like a foreign country. Like that would have been
Right.
really scary and ambitious for like the first episode. So I think there was a number of reasons why we chose that. And it all did kind of line up. We had that Blizzard event that was happening that would get us inside the studio. We were going to be able to get time with Jeff Kaplan, who was at Blizzard at the time, that was going to take us around and tour the studio. And so we had these like really great guests like lined up for this episode. And so it kind of worked out.
Yeah, that definitely sweetened the deal. Like they really rolled out the red carpet where it was, yeah, you can hang out with Jeff Kaplan. He'll kind of take you through the game and he'll give you a tour of Blizzard, and you can go hands-on with the game, and we'll take you whatever you want to see. And we're super lenient about filming, so that was really appealing to us. I think we had 2 full days of filming for this, and the first day was kind of the restaurant and everything else. I think, we went to the beach and we shot some stuff there. We were trying to do that montage. And then the second day was, the full day at Blizzard. And from there we would, and I think we envisioned the episode probably being, 50-50 Blizzard and 50% all the other stuff too.
Right. Exactly. So we film everything. It's, a big production, obviously. A lot of people were on this project. We go back and we start going through the edit.
Well, let's talk more about what we did at Blizzard, because that was amazing.
Okay.
That tour was way more. He probably spent like over an hour with us. I thought he might spend like 15 minutes and be like, here's the statue. See you later. He was such a nice guy. He was incredibly nice.
Yeah, he was so nice and so hospitable, and was just like really excited to be with us. So we actually got to see some like previews of the game first, and we were able to play with some other creators, which was really, really fun. And then we went on this like studio tour where he just like took us around to all of the major spots.
He showed us everything. He was like, oh yeah, here's where we launch games, and this is like mission control, and we can see what's crashing and what's not working here. Here's like, all of the, cool stuff that people get at Blizzard when they work like 5, 10, 20 years. And, we have stuff like that at Nintendo, but it wasn't anywhere near as cool as that.
Yeah, you don't get like a sword and shield.
Yeah, he was like, oh, well, here's all this crazy, like, here's a 20-foot Tracer statue that we've got. Mm-hmm. And again, he was just so sweet and nice. And he had somebody else with him who was one of the other developers who I feel really bad that this episode never aired, because he was like, oh, my kid is the biggest Nintendo Minute fan. He's going to be super pumped that I'm on the show.
Oh my God.
And of course, this episode never aired. If he's listening to this, or if he's watching this, please reach out. We'll do something special.
Oh my God.
We didn't mean for it to never come out.
It wasn't our fault.
But yes, we had 2 great days of filming. We got back and we started working on this thing.
Yeah. So we had like our best editor on this. And she was like working really, there was a lot of footage to go through. And because everything was shot on like a 4K camera, the files were so big and hard to manipulate. So it was a big task to like go through the footage and put this thing together. And we had like you and I had this like very specific vision of how we wanted this thing to look. Like we were like very invested in this. Like you talked a little bit about that Sayonara Wild Hearts like car montage. Like we got
James Cameron with this car montage.
I know. I need the vibe check to be so spot on.
I need this to be Oscar worthy. No, that was definitely like, we had the stuff with the permitting at the beginning, and then kind of actually sinking the teeth into the edit, which we were not doing, of course. That was the other like, oh, we may have bit off more than we can chew, because we had a very specific date in mind for when we wanted this to get out, for it to have the biggest impact. So it's like, well, the further we get from when this game comes out, people are not going to care as much. And we wanted to do big, because we wanted to keep doing more of these.
Right, exactly. So it was kind of a struggle actually in the edit. Like we had done more rounds of.
We were not going to hit that date.
We were not going to hit that date, and we were like more picky than ever. Like usually with Nintendo Minute in studio videos, we were pretty like, we keep the list of like changes pretty short, because we need the episode to air that week.
Well, your list of edits were usually, looks great, ship it. and then I would have like,
exactly.
you know, maybe 6 to 8 things.
You would have
So,
like real nitpicky things
I was
that would
more
drive
picky.
the editor. They drive the editors crazy. Now it's my own
Now
cross
you're
to
the
bear.
one getting those.
Now it's my own cross to bear because I edit it and I think it's perfect, and I send it over to you for feedback, and you send me a list of 8 things to change. So it's literally like
looks great, but
I'm just like having to like suffer now, which is maybe what I deserve. Anyways, it's the punishment I must suffer now. But yeah, so we had gone back and forth with this poor editor, who was probably very sick of us at this point. And we were not going to hit that date either. And then something really unfortunate happened.
Yeah, you may recall back in late, I guess this was maybe September 2019, Blizzard had that whole Hearthstone crisis, which honestly now looking at it in 2022 in the spectrum of, you know, world crises that we have experienced and other Blizzard crises that have happened feels quite like minuscule in comparison. Yeah. But at the time it was massive. And it quickly became clear, like, we should not air this. And that was not anything that we were told. That was not anything, you know, that somebody tapped us on the shoulder. That was our own, like, conclusion pretty quickly of, like, this is not going to go over well if we put this out. And it was like, well, it's probably not going to blow over anytime soon. And it didn't. So we just had to shelve the thing.
Yeah. So we shelved it, which meant we shelved the entire Nintendo Minute on the Go project. And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And then we left the company.
Yeah, it's a bummer chain of events.
It's okay, though. The happy ending is that we are here now. And we get to do this on our own. And we don't have to pull permits.
Right.
And I don't have to.
You just have to climb a tree to get the footage you want.
Tree. That's exactly right. I'm happy to. I'm happy. You wouldn't let me. I was happy to climb the tree.
Shimmying up this palm tree.
Yeah. So all of this is to say that it was kind of a sad and unfortunate event that this episode that we all, just so many people worked so hard on, that was this long time creative thing in the making, will never and did not ever come to fruition. But the great thing is that you and I still love traveling and doing things like this. So now we can take that same idea and do it here. So if you want to see more travel video game videos, vlogs and stuff, let us know, because we'll do that.
You know, we did a poll of our Patreon subscribers not too long ago. It's like, what kind of videos, you know, do you like to see us do on the Kit and Krysta show? And I was really shocked that vlog was like, it was either number 1 or like kind of tied with number 1 along with, you know, us playing games, which was not what I expected, but it's great because we love doing those and those are really fun to make. Yeah. Yeah.
And we definitely want to like come back to this idea. This is obviously to make it the way that we wanted to. For Nintendo, it takes a lot more production resources. So we might not be able to make it at that same caliber, but we can definitely still travel and do vlogs. And we probably have been like testing the waters a little bit already with some of the ones that we've done, like the Summer Game Fest one that we did. Obviously, this gaming headquarters ranking video in the Orange County was sort of like that as well. We haven't pushed it as far as we wanted to. But that's something that we have on our mind to keep going with.
Yeah, and we just have this kind of half-edited version of the video that's fun to look back on and think about, you know, what if? And, you know, that is something that was really remarkable about Nintendo Minute is like we had like nothing went to waste of what we filmed. It was always like, film it, it's great, get it out. But there were, you know, again, like the 3 to 4 videos that, you know, had very specific reasons why we did them and they never got out. And, you know, it's cool to talk about one. We'll see if we can talk about some of the other ones a little bit later on. But yeah, that definitely felt different than some of the other projects that we saw where it was like, oh, we just didn't do it, or, oh, we just took a week off. It was like, that was definitely not our mentality.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was so happy that we're able to just share some of the footage from this lost episode in this game rankings video. So at least you'll see a little bit of it there. So that makes me happy that finally a piece of this video can air somewhere. All right. That's
Shall we
story
move on
time.
to Never a Minute?
Let's. All right. So in our Never a Minute segment, we're doing kind of a fun discussion. You came up with this, so I'm going to let you explain it because it can be a little confusing.
So I bought a game on Switch recently with a part of the big sale that's going on. New Super Lucky's Tale was the game. And I mentioned that to somebody and they were like, oh, do you know that's on Game Pass? And I had a moment of like, oh, did I make a mistake by paying for this game? But I thought about it. It's like, no, I'm glad I had it on Switch. So the idea of this is like Switch or Game Pass. So we're each going to give each other some games, which maybe they're not actually on Switch or Game Pass, but it's like, hypothetically, which would you prefer to have the game on? Get it for free on Game Pass, play it on Xbox, or pay money to play it and have it on Switch? And that would come with, whatever technical trade-offs would come with that as well.
Right. But you are basically paying for portability. Or
exactly.
You're going to be...
And flexibility, all that stuff.
Right. And then, or you can play for free on Game Pass on Xbox.
Right.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So we each have 4 of these. You have 4?
I have more than 4, but we can get...
Oh my gosh. Well, I
started writing games down.
You went crazy.
Wow.
All right. I've got a fun one here.
Okay.
Let's say tomorrow there's a big announcement from Square Enix who said, we are bringing the Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy. And you can choose if it comes to Game Pass or to Nintendo Switch. What do you choose?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
The thing is that the technological trade-offs would be pretty big for this one, right?
Right.
Yeah. You know what? I would pick Game Pass for this one because Final Fantasy, these kinds of games, these are the games that I'm happy to really like sit in front of my big projector and like really concentrate and singularly focus on the experience of playing this game. So I would prefer to play it on like a powerful console that can run it. So
yeah,
I would say
that's what I would have chosen too. Yeah. Like, I mean, even the first one I played on PS4, like I was floored at how great that game looked. I really wouldn't want to go away from that.
Exactly.
So it's kind of an easy choice for me.
Yeah. Okay, I have one for you.
Okay.
Now this game is already on Game Pass, but I'm
but
curious
not on Switch?
to see. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious to see if you would, if it did come to Switch, if you would pay for the portability.
Aha.
Halo Infinite.
Oh boy.
Would you pay for, and let's say it would have crossplay, so it's kind of like a Fortnite where you would be able to, play with other people, but you would have probably some tech downgrading, but you could play Halo anywhere.
I'm probably atypical in that with Halo Infinite, like the multiplayer, I kind of came and went with it. I really enjoyed the single player more. And I think I probably would have spent more time kind of poking around that world than I did if it was on Switch.
Oh.
I don't know. 343, they're a very capable developer. I feel like they could find the right studio to do a capable port.
Yeah.
I think I'm going Switch on that.
See, I would do that, the same thing. I would go Switch because these are the kinds of games that I love playing on Switch because it's like very seasonal. It's like one of those games where you can like take it and leave it and come and go with it, or even play like short bursts at a time if you didn't want. I mean, I actually like the multiplayer. Hopefully that would work on Switch. Maybe not, maybe yes. I mean, Fortnite works on Switch, so it's something like that, right? But yeah, I would absolutely pay for portability in this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. We're so aligned.
Wow.
In lockstep.
Here's where the tables turn. Give me another one.
All right. Here's the next one. Another announcement is made tomorrow where you can choose Does Diablo 4 come to Nintendo Switch or Game Pass?
That's an
we
easy
should
one
say,
for me.
Blizzard, soon to be part of Microsoft. But you get to choose. It's in your hands.
I love Diablo on Switch, though.
Diablo 3 on Switch was pretty great.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those games where, like, I kind of like it that I have the flexibility of taking it with me and playing it. We played a lot of Diablo together, like on the plane and all that stuff. And also, I'm so into the mobile Diablo Immortal right now on mobile that I'm seriously like a believer in portable Diablo now. Like,
wow.
So weird too, because when I started playing Diablo, obviously I was playing on PC. And that is like maybe the least portable thing ever. Like, we definitely did the LAN parties where I carried my PC to people's houses, which was like a whole like production. But now I'm like, why is not all Diablo games portable? Like, we need to, So yeah, I would pick Switch.
Going Switch.
I'm going Switch.
All the online stuff in the Diablo 3 version also works surprisingly well.
Weirdly well. Yeah.
And I liked the look, the visuals of Diablo 4. I think those look great. But, the way you play that game where it's a bit, zoomed out, I'm not so worried about losing the detail. So I think I would go Switch also. This could happen. I mean, hopefully we get eventually a Switch version of Diablo 4. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'd love
Usually
that.
they come later. Like, you don't get it like day one. It's not going to be on Switch, which is always like a thing. But usually they come later. So hopefully that's the case for this one. I mean, I'm going to play that game, I think, day one. So wherever
regardless.
it's launching, like, I'll just play it. So it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Here's one for you.
Okay.
The next Yakuza game is announced.
Whoa.
You get to choose.
Oh, boy.
Game Pass or Switch. Those games are long, but they are fun they are like very visual.
Well, either way, I might be playing it on something other than my PS5 because I had that sad moment where I put it into suspend mode and it got a system update in the middle of the night and rebooted itself at this point where I couldn't save. So I was a little upset at that.
That's true. You were going to beat the game soon and you couldn't.
That's a tough one.
I know.
Those games look good, but I'm going to say not good enough. I feel like they could be a really nice version of Yakuza on the Switch.
Really?
There was
really?
They did a Yakuza on the Wii U that of course bombed, and they're like, well, we'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Maybe they should try again.
That. Switch is different than Wii U.
I mean, they, Sega and Atlus, they just got over getting Persona on the Switch. Maybe this is the next hump they can get over.
That's true. That's very true. I think I'm going to stick with it on a console or like on Game Pass.
Tell me why.
Again, it's one of those games where, I'm happy to be very like focused and just have it be, it's like one of those like more cinematic games for me. Like, there's a couple of games in that category where it's like,
when there's a large man in a diaper, you need that on a 100-inch screen, right?
And a hot guy in a suit.
but mostly an old salary man in a diaper.
Or a chicken. Or a foot tapping shareholder. I need that on the 120 inch, okay? I need to be focused on this chicken.
All right.
Yeah, because I feel like all my Switch games, I only play in handheld mode at this point. I rarely have it in TV mode, and I'm always multitasking with it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to multitask Yakuza. Like, I want to like.
I mean, you don't have to multitask. You could focus. You could pay attention.
Or not. That's not how I play Switch at all.
Seems to be a challenge.
Either I'm playing it to multitask or I'm playing it in bed. So
all right. This is my third one here.
Okay.
Tomorrow, you get a phone call, panicked, from Mr. Yuji Horii.
Oh, Dragon Quest?
Krysta-san, I need to know.
Horii-san.
Dragon Quest 12. Switch or Game Pass.
Oh.
Help me!
Dragon Quest. No! Switch!
What do you do? You're going Switch.
I have to go Switch for that. Dragon Quest, we have to go Switch. We have to go Switch.
I actually have to disagree with this.
What?
Which might be surprising. Dragon Quest XI, I was a little disappointed in the Switch version, which
really?
I know most people love that version.
I didn't mind it at all.
It did not run or look as good as I had expected it to. I was a teensy bit disappointed in that, actually. And I know this probably negates everything I said about all these other games that I want on Switch, because they probably
are contradicting
run and look
yourself.
just like that. But this is one where I've seen it. And I was like, kind of wish I'd played that on something else. Which I know, it's like this game is so big and so like open and big.
Yeah.
It's probably better, but I'll try it another way this time.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to try it another way. No, I'm not.
I mean, either way, you're probably not going to beat it.
I beat Dragon Quest XI.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll show you my game. I beat that game
I believe
on Switch.
You.
I was in Spain when I beat it. It was amazing. It was so fun. And I need it on Switch. Yeah, Dragon Quest 12 on Switch. Sorry. Okay. Here is one that's kind of interesting. This game is already on Switch, but I personally do not think it's that good right now on Switch.
Okay.
Mario Strikers.
Oh, jeez.
Would you rather play that game on Game Pass, or do you just want to keep it on Switch? Think about it, though, because these kinds of games, these like sports games, or even like these kinds of like games where they add characters and maps and updates to it, doesn't it feel like it? I'm trying to convince you now. Doesn't it feel like it works better on Game Pass, because then you're like not feeling like, oh, I just dropped like $60 and this game is kind of like incomplete. Maybe if it was on Game Pass, it wouldn't be that bad, and I'll just keep updating it and everything.
I'm not sure where you're going with this point, to be quite honest.
You don't?
Well, so I know you don't love this game. I don't think like the way it runs though is a big issue. I think it looks fine. I think it runs fine. I will say, like, when I play that game, I find myself like jamming on buttons and pushing buttons harder than I normally would. And that Xbox controller is so clicky, I think that would bother me. So I'm going to keep it on Switch.
Weird reason.
It's my reason. Leave me alone.
Like, I feel like that game.
You're not going to be playing this game on anything soon.
I know. That game would be so much better as an Xbox Game Pass game. It would,
but why?
Because, okay, so it's like...
Explain yourself.
If you have Game Pass, you can get that game for free, right? And then you wouldn't feel so bad.
You just wanted a chance to take a shot at this poor game.
I didn't. No,
did.
I'm just saying, like, with a game like that, where they're like, it's like when they release it, it's not like the complete game. There's more stuff coming for it.
I want it on Game Pass, so I don't feel like I got ripped off like I do now.
Exactly. I feel like I got ripped off.
All right, let's move on.
I do.
You're getting vindictive and ranty.
I'm not vindictive. I do feel like I got a little ripped off, though. $60. It's a lot of money. I haven't played that game in weeks, and I want to love it, but I can't.
All right.
If only it was free on Game Pass.
I'm amazed that we have not had any overlap with any of these games so far.
I know, right?
That's amazing.
Okay. This is your number 4, right?
My big finale.
Okay.
A series we love.
Oh no, I think I might have
next Assassin's Creed. You decide.
This on my list. I was waiting for number 4. Oh my god.
You decide.
No, Game Pass.
Have you ever played an Assassin's Creed on Switch?
No. I played some on Wii U. On Wii U, I played some.
Oh wow! Now listen to this. I played Black Flag Assassin's Creed 4 on the Wii U.
Oh, I played that game on Wii U.
That was
not.
It was interesting with the gamepad, but it was not.
No.
It was not the ideal way to play.
I also played the one with Connor.
Oh, 3, yeah. I played that also on the Wii U.
On
Again,
Wii U.
Not the best.
I didn't like that at all, honestly. So.
I get you. So Game Pass is your answer.
Game Pass for sure. Again, this is one of those games. Happy to give up portability for like it to look amazing. I need this game. I mean, this game needs to look amazing. So
I would be concerned about them being able to fully translate that to the Switch.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I mean, that was a launch game. I still think that's one of the best looking PS5 games that I have and
Me
have
too.
played.
Yeah. Sometimes you go back to that game just to look at how pretty it is, you know?
It's a huge world. It looks great. The frame rate is perfect. Like,
yeah,
I'm really impressed by that game.
exactly.
Technically.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly.
I'm with you.
Yeah, keep it there. Okay, well, here is one that we are both actually playing right now on Switch.
Oh.
But would you rather have this game on Game Pass? Neon White.
Oh. No, I don't think that's necessary.
Really?
No. I mean, that game is not like a technical marvel. Not that it needs to be. I'm not saying anything bad about it. Yeah, I think it runs really well on the Switch. No, I'm happy with it.
But I mean, like, if you didn't care for it to be portable and you just wanted to play that game for free on Game Pass, wouldn't that be?
Well, see, I mean, I didn't have any indie games on my list because I was like, again, like at some point the price becomes like almost negligible. It's like, just choose the one you like. So what was Neon White, like $25 or something? It's like, I don't feel the sting from that so much.
Not like Mario Strikers. Like I felt the
$60 of Mario Strikers sent you to the poorhouse.
$60, you guys. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a game that I have not played.
You couldn't pay the bills because of Mario Strikers.
My lights are off.
You're eating ramen for the next month.
Exactly.
Well, you'd be eating ramen for the next month anyway. So
that's true. That's true.
It doesn't matter.
Aficionado. Yeah, I would say like for a game like Neon White, I do like it in portable, so I'm happy to pay the $25 for it to be on Switch. And
see, I was just playing it on Switch on this vacation, so I'm like, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, even if it was already also on Game Pass, I think I would still pick the Switch version. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. So, okay, all right. Wow. Well, we did pretty well. We didn't have that much overlap, and we kind of agreed on most things.
That was pretty interesting, I've got to say.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I want to hear your opinions. We'll put the list of games. But if you have other games, like tell us.
Yeah, that would cause like a dilemma for you of like, I really don't know which way I'd go on this.
Pick. Yeah, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Yeah. Wow.
Well, good segue into what we've been playing.
Yeah,
Neon White's at the top of the list. Top of the list. Yes, there is a lot. Some of these might be quick though. Yeah, I don't know. Little again, the gaming it's the season of the gaming poo-poo platter, which is perfect for summer.
The gaming whore's divorce.
Just little snackies.
Except for Horizon, which is not a snack.
Well,
it's a meal.
That's for you, not for me.
It's a meal. It's an entree and a dessert.
Neon White, though.
Let's start with Neon White, which we both have been playing and enjoying a lot. Yeah, I got good at this game. Like at first, last week when I was playing it. Last week when I was playing it, I was like, oh, I don't think I can make it very much further. This is pretty hard. Like, I don't know if I can get
You beat Elden Ring. You can't use this excuse anymore.
No,
you got to throw that out.
It's different.
It's not.
I'm really bad at platforming. Well, and 3D platforming, or like first person platforming is even like more of a challenge for me. So I was like already pretty nervous going into it, even though the game looked and sounded cool. But yeah, like the first couple of levels, I was like, whoa, I can't do this. This is really hard. But then the game does a great job of like letting you kind of get the hang of it and making it feel like, I don't know, like teaching you like little by little, like all the different moves, because it kind of slowly introduces different moves to you. And I'm really surprised that I've been doing pretty good, and I think I'm a little further along than you. And I got through like this kind of hard, I won't spoil it for people, but it's basically like the equivalent of a boss fight. And I was able to do it. Like it was hard. I definitely had to try it several times, but I was able to do it. I felt pretty good about myself. I was like, wow, when it comes together, when you like chain all the moves together and stuff, it feels great. And you're like, oh, I'm awesome. I'm really good at this. So I've been really liking it.
Yeah, you zoomed a bit ahead of me, so I can see where you are on those leaderboards. And the new rule that I have is I can't move on until I beat your time. Which means I have had to play some of these levels a couple times to do that, but I always do.
You do, and then I go back and beat your time.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't get any notification or anything for that. So in my mind, it didn't happen.
Okay, yeah. I always look at what you did, and then like because the game does like kind of force you to replay some stuff to get your rank to the right number to move forward. So you have to replay some levels anyway. Like if I'm gonna play it one time and I didn't like get a medal, like I'll go back and redo it. You know.
Now, last week, Neil from Nintendo World Report was the big hero for having the great times.
Yeah.
I think this week there's a new hero, which might be Per Schneider of IGN.
Oh, he's not my friend, I don't think, on Switch. I don't see him. Per, why are you not my friend?
Now this became a sad story. But some of his times are really good. Some of the times I see are so good. It's like I must be missing like an alternate route through this level.
If you get the third eye after you unlock that, it does give you
third eye's always open.
No, it isn't. It's like taped shut.
Taped shut. Just bop it. It's like, closed.
And like flick it. Good thing
what is that? I don't even know what that is.
There's like a thing that unlocks. It's like as you do the levels, it fills up this little meter. You don't see that at the bottom of your screen.
But what does it do?
It shows you the alternate route. The fast route.
No, I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, that's how people are getting those times. Because then I did the alternate route for one of them and I got like the ace medal and I did it in like 10 seconds. Like,
I'm going to say something that might seem contradictory about this game right now. I'm having a great time with this game. I'm really enjoying it.
And?
I might stop soon.
Why?
I did that last set of levels last night, and at the end of it, I was kind of exhausted because it's a lot to like mentally and physically put together to get through it.
It is.
And I'm just like, I don't know how much more of this I can handle.
I really would love for you to do the boss fight, though.
I am curious about that.
I think you should try it. It's really quick, and the next set of levels that you do is only 3, so it's only like 2 more, and then the boss fight.
Because I was gonna say maybe smaller chunks. Because I did the whole third run, which was like 8 to 10.
Yeah, so the one after that is only 3 levels.
Oh, okay.
And the third one is the boss fight, actually. So
I'm up for that.
I think you should at least do that, and then you can maybe if you don't feel like doing anymore. I just finished that today, so I was just gonna check out what's next, but I might not be playing it like every single day, like even for the last.
I do sort of marvel at the game design because there are some things where it's like you need to get it in certain order, where like one card supersedes the next to do the move to get like where you need to go, and it's like
that's right.
Somebody had to think out the sequencing of all this.
I imagine like a post-it note board where they're
because I'm just barely making it happen.
Yeah, it's like you have to get the jump card and then the dash card, or like the dash card and
but
then
it's like when you get that card, that moves to the top of your stack.
Right.
Yeah.
So I sometimes like feel like I have to manually do it, and then I always mess it up. So
I never do that. Yeah.
It did it for me. I don't need to. Like I was like, I'm ready. In my head, I'm like, I'm ready to change the order if I need to. But then I don't have to ever do that.
Yeah.
So, anyways. But yeah, so fun and shocking that I'm doing so well and just getting through it. So yeah. Okay, other games that we have been playing. You've been playing New Super Lucky's Tale?
This is going to be super brief because I played it for about 30 minutes. But that's one of those games. Again, I was talking about 3D platformers and how I was just kind of missing those. Mm-hmm. And I saw that this was part of the sale. So I was like, I got to get on this. I know this is probably good, but not great. Apparently there was a Lucky's Tale and a Super Lucky's Tale for there to be a new Super Lucky's Tale. Mm-hmm. I think I kind of missed.
I missed the boat on that.
The progression of some of that.
This is like New Super Mario Brothers 2. Next, whatever.
But again, I played the first couple levels. It is a very solid, very competent 3D platformer.
Okay.
That feels slightly uninspired in spots, but it just felt very kind of relaxing and comforting to play. So I probably am not. It's probably not going to be my main thing, but I might chip away at it over time.
Is there a multiplayer in this game?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a good one for me to check out on Game Pass, I think, so I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. And it does look in great, run great on the Switch. But yeah, if it's on Game Pass, you might as well just grab that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. And then other like smaller games, I did check out the Cuphead DLC, the Delicious Last Course.
And
oh my gosh, it is so hard.
now, is it hard mostly because it's been a while since you played Cuphead?
Probably.
I think that's probably the main reason.
That little girl cup though, Miss Chalice. Oh my gosh, so cute, and she does have some moves that help. I was a very bad Cuphead player. I got through like okay, but this is another.
We did go to a preview session with the developers that were there.
Yeah.
They're like, she does have some stuff that makes it a teensy bit easier.
A little bit. Yeah, there's some stuff. So she has this double jump that's really helpful. She also has this dash move where it like replenishes your little special ability things like immediately if you dash into like one of those like pink enemies or pink things. So there are certain things where she's like a little bit teensy bit easier, but yeah, definitely I'm very rusty with Cuphead mechanics, and everything's like so fast, and there's like so many things on the screen like coming at you, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I was able to get through like 3 levels, and then I got
that's great.
1, and I was like, okay, this is so
I love
hard.
Cuphead. I'm a little scared to go back to it at this point again, just because I'm so rusty.
Yeah,
we both got codes for this, so I have it. I'm just not ready.
So cute. And the music is so good. And the little world that you're in, oh my gosh, it's so great. And like everything is based around getting this like cake so you can come back from the dead. I mean, it's adorable. It's so cute. So even if you just go and look at it, it's kind of worth it, you know?
Check out some game over screens.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can look at the game over screens. And you can put it into like the semi-easy mode, which is not that easy, honestly, but still pretty hard for me. So I did it for a couple of the levels for sure. What else?
I played a game that it's a little, under the radar. Maybe you haven't heard of it. It's called Fortnite.
I never heard of that. What's that game about?
I'd been mentioning this to you of like, I need to go back and check out Fortnite. I do this like once or twice a year.
It is fun to go back.
And it's like, they're always adding so much stuff to it. I just wanted to see what was going on. And I really liked sort of the trailers that they had for the last one, because it felt very summery for this last season. And it's got Darth Vader, which I'm very excited about. Darth Vader is hidden very deep in this battle pass, which I will not be buying. So I will not be getting Darth Vader. I do have the Mandalorian skin though, which it's my prized possession in Fortnite. So that's how I roll.
That's cool. You spent some V-Bucks on that or what?
I sure did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The seasons always feel more different in the trailers than they do when you're actually playing. Like, I think it's probably a function of me not being a very casual Fortnite player. I'm like, I don't know exactly what's new here.
Right.
I mean, I know they added
you can do the no build, which is good because I didn't like the build.
That is how I was playing. That's how I'm playing now.
Yeah,
that's great. I mean, I didn't do the building beforehand anyway, and somehow I still managed to do okay. I don't know, the way I play Fortnite. I don't know if it's weird. I mostly just run around trying to find people. And by the time I do, there's like 15 people left. So I end up getting a pretty good finish for doing absolutely nothing.
It feels like the world is always so big when I play. Like, where is everybody?
Well, I think a lot of people jump off the bus like as soon as possible. And there's probably some crazy shootout there.
Oh, as Reggie says, it's time to jump off
the battle
bus. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I always jump off in some remote location where there's like nobody around, and I'm just like hunkered down in like a cabin somewhere, and then like I wait around for something.
The one thing I did turn on, which they didn't have last time I played, was gyro aiming.
Ooh,
which is great. And any shooter now that doesn't have that, I'm just kind of annoyed. There's kind of a variation of that you can use, which is what I'm using, which is when you actually aim is when that gets activated. When you're just sort of running around, there's no gyro aiming. So it doesn't feel like you're like jostling if you move the controller like Splatoon. Like sometimes it can get really like, whoa.
Yeah, you can get a little motion sickness.
But it's only when you're pulling down the left trigger that becomes active and you can start to do it, which is great because I've never been good at Fortnite aiming. I'm still not very good at it. But I did get a couple top 10 finishes.
Wow.
Again, mostly for just running through these hills and valleys doing nothing.
Okay.
So that's my hot Fortnite update.
It's great.
Yeah.
I definitely like to go back and check it out for like short bursts, but I'm not like a daily.
A lot of our friend group
Fortnite
from Nintendo is still, they're like, we got to get some Fortnite games going.
I'm happy to.
It's like,
I
all
love
right.
Fortnite as a hangout game. Like, I will hang out with anyone that wants to
It is a
play
pretty great hangout game.
Fortnite, because you just sit. You're basically just like sitting around most of the time.
Super low stakes.
Very low stakes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would love to anytime. All right. I went back, friends, to Horizon Forbidden West. Yes, I know. Finally. I've been saying this
Congratulations.
for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. But I finally did it. I went back. I had left off, apparently, and no spoilers, but I had left off at like kind of a pivotal moment in the game, I guess, because when I went back, I was immediately like thrown into this pretty significant like story sequence and a really like hard fight where I had forgotten all the buttons and what they do and all my abilities and what they were and all of the arrows that I have and what they did and how to do things. So I was fumbling around like an idiot and pressing all these buttons, and I was like, wait, which is this arrow? What's that do? Somehow was able to beat that sequence of events, but the skin of my teeth, no more health potions, and a big like story thing happened, and then I was like, yes, this game is awesome. Like, I am back, like fully
great.
It fully grabbed my attention once more. So yeah, I have been like making really good progress, and I think I'm on track to actually finishing it now. So that's exciting.
Remember when you said you were going to finish it before Elden Ring?
Yes.
In the span of like 1 week? You were like, I'm going to just play this game beginning to end in 1 week. That sure didn't happen.
I was like, I feel like I could do it. And then I was like, oh no, that's not.
The only thing I'm fairly certain I'm not going to go back to this game, but I do want to see, you know, all the stuff that's like on the box art. It's like their version of San Francisco, but I understand that is like at the very end of the game.
It is.
So
maybe you can going west. So
maybe you can send me a screenshot or something.
I will. Yeah, I just saw their version of another like landmark area in the west. I will not spoil it for people that are playing this game, but it was a wow moment. Like,
that sounds. You told me what that was. That sounds.
I did tell you. I know you're not going to play it, but I know other people don't want to hear it. But
send me a screenshot of that.
I will. I was like playing that whole area, and I was like, this is such a great imagining of what this place looks like in the future, and then have it be destroyed, and then have it be rebuilt again.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, that's some next level thinking there. Like, that's pretty cool, you know? So I really enjoyed that part. I just finished that part last night, and I was like, this is such a good game. Like, oh my gosh. I feel so bad that it came out around Elden Ring and a lot of people didn't appreciate it as much, but oh man, what a great game, and how like beautiful, you know? There is like, I am getting used to like that thing where the HUD is just so busy. It's like, go here, go there, pick this herb, do that thing. And it's like, she's always in my ear, like, maybe if I follow those tracks, I can do the side quest. I'm like,
I think there was a patch where they took some of that stuff out. They did. Reduced.
I did patch the game, and it was like a teeny bit better, but I'm just like, can you stop talking to me, please? I am busy right now.
She's got something to say.
Shut up.
Let her say it.
I don't need your chit chat right now. Oh my God.
It's lonely in the future.
Oh, she has friends. Talk to them. But yeah, it is like such like a stark difference to, you know, Elden Ring, where there's like beautiful silence.
Yeah.
You're just like on your own, you know? Yeah. But anyways, I really love it. I'm so excited that I went back, and I'm not sorry at all.
Well, I've enjoyed breaking the chain of open world games. So my gaming poo-poo platter continues. On a whim, I downloaded the demo for, and again, I need to make sure I say this name right because it's a very confusing game.
Live Alive.
No.
Live Alive.
Live Alive.
Oh,
I went back to the Treehouse Live segment before we recorded this to make sure.
Live Alive?
Live Alive. Yes.
Oh.
I mean, it could be Live Alive. Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive. I mean, my goodness. After a bad start. Anyhow.
Live Alive.
this is a game that I mean, obviously I was aware of it. I had kind of like, was like, it's not for me. I don't really care. But for some reason I was like, well, with this demo, maybe I'll check it out. It's pretty cool. And I might actually play this when it comes out. There's a small problem that comes out in very close proximity to Xenoblade 3.
Yeah.
Which I am committed to playing.
Yeah. We have
so
to
this is
check that game out.
So this is like a JRPG from the 90s that never came out outside of Japan. And it's by one of the lead designers worked on Final Fantasy IV, which is my favorite Final Fantasy and one of my favorite games. It's these kind of like different slices of storytelling. So there's in the demo, there's ancient China, feudal Japan, and I think one that's set in the future. But I mean, you've seen other ones where it's like a cowboy, or there's all these different like time settings that gives me kind of like almost a Chrono Trigger feel, because that's mostly about time travel. And I'm not sure how long any of those chunks are, but I like the idea of these sort of self-contained stories in a bigger game. Yeah. Because sometimes I get a little fatigued in a big RPG where it's like, can we just get to the point?
We're still dragging on with the same storyline.
Right. And I did the feudal Japan one, and it did kind of like start off in this very, pivotal moment. And I was like, maybe this game is just cutting the fat of JRPGs, and it's going to be just like these really tight, focused experiences that I'm assuming at some point will be connected. That was not clear to me in the demo, but I have to imagine at some point they will be linked together. Again, maybe they've already shared this. I have not been following the marketing very closely at all. But it was cool. And it's also got that same kind of art style as Octopath Traveler. It looked really good.
Yeah.
So that's great that, this, and, again, the people who know JRPGs are really into this, that they're excited that it's coming. So that's a good sign. The name is bizarre. It seems like Nintendo is really pushing this game. They must have had some backroom handshake with Square Enix. It's like, yes, we will commit X effort or dollars to promoting this.
I wonder if this game, they need to promote it for Square for them to bring something else to Switch.
Maybe.
It's like one of those deals. Like they used to do that with Level 5, where it's like, you gotta promote Yokai Watch so you can we can bring these other games.
Or it might be like Octopath, where it's exclusive on Switch for some amount of time. So we want to make the most of it.
There's gotta be some business deal.
I don't know. I was like, this doesn't seem like a big enough game. I mean, it's obviously going to be big for the right person.
It's like a more niche audience for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like really they are pushing this game pretty hard.
They really are. I mean, they did a whole Treehouse Plays for it. Like it's been
not live though, not live alive.
If that's because it was not Treehouse Live, it was Treehouse Plays. Treehouse alive.
So yes,
yeah.
That's what we've been playing.
Well, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
We've been playing some
a
games.
lot for me. I guess it's a lot for you too.
Yeah, I've been playing games.
Next week though, it might be all Horizon for you next week.
Well, I'm on the boat for
whatever
a couple days.
Tidbits you can fit in on a boat.
Can't play Horizon on a boat, so I'll be playing more games on Switch. And then when I come back, I'll just be like really in on Horizon.
That's when you're going to finish it by the end of next week.
That's when I'm going
to
beat it.
You're going to be done.
Exactly.
Perfect. Look forward to your final impressions next week.
Look out for the Golden Gate Bridge screenshot any day now.
Oh, see, it's too bad. See, if you could do something where like you were playing that game on the boat by the Golden Gate Bridge, but you had that on the screen. See, that's the one you need on Switch or Game Pass. Switch. Horizon. Just for your Instagram post.
Oh my gosh. I would
think of that Instagram post. That Instagram post would be incredible.
I need to like bring my laptop. I will have my laptop. Cloud
do remote play on your laptop.
Remote play on some sort of like
you could do that.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is not going to work. I don't think.
Bring your Vita. Okay.
I don't even have a Vita.
I'll let you borrow my Vita.
I don't want to borrow a Vita.
I'm embarrassed to have it in this house.
I know you do have it. Why though?
Get this out of here.
But yes, that would be cool. But that's true. We are here in San Francisco.
That would be amazing.
To get the screenshot. Anyways, yes.
All right. On to the news. again, we have our full reactions to the Nintendo Direct Mini. Please watch that for our full impressions of that. But got a couple other stories here.
Yeah.
Seems to be tough times over at Niantic because they have laid off some people and canceled multiple projects. Oh no. That ain't good.
Yeah, I have been wondering about Niantic because, certainly Pokemon Go and that whole thing was just such a phenomenon, but that has since really died down like a lot. And
Pokemon Go?
right? Yeah.
Has
like
it?
I think so.
Well, okay. So my thing with Niantic is I'm really unclear how many projects they can have going at once. Because it always seems like they've got way too many things going. And like, do you really have the staff and capability to support all of these that need to be constantly updated and constantly having this new stream of content? I mean, unless you had thousands of people, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we don't know like what else is like not released yet for them, but
well, so it says they canceled a Transformers game,
right,
and this this other
Sleep
one,
No More game,
right? So they've got Pokemon Go, they've got Pikmin,
Pikmin Bloom,
they've got their original game. Was it Ingress?
Ingress, yeah.
They just announced they're doing
Harry Potter.
They had that one. I think they pulled the plug on that.
They pulled the plug on the Harry Potter. Okay.
They just announced that they're doing something with the NBA, like this basketball thing.
Okay.
So it's like, that's a lot of pretty high profile stuff. And again, it's not like, oh, we ship it and we're done.
Mm-hmm. They have to support it a lot.
Maybe they just need to take a breather and focus on a smaller number of projects.
But you don't think that fervor of Pokemon Go has died down? It definitely has. I mean, they probably still have their very core fan base playing Pokemon Go, but like that phenomenon where every single person, including my mother, was playing Pokemon Go is definitely not.
Well, I've seen some. I mean, they released the charts of like the yearly revenue, and the first year was actually not the biggest year. It did go up from there, which I don't know how, but it did. Mm-hmm. And I stopped playing through the pandemic, but I know people were really happy with some of the changes they made. But the news now is like they pulled back on a lot of those.
Exactly.
So there may be some decline based on that. But I mean, even if it is a decline, I still think that's the one thing that is like a sure thing that they have. I mean, maybe it's hard to turn down that sweet Transformers money, but I think they should just start to focus a little bit more. They had this quote. Yeah. There was some
How's
like message
Bloom?
From, I wouldn't know because I'm not playing it.
I know. I wonder how popular that game is. Like, I mean, I just don't hear I don't hear much about it at all, is what it is.
Yes. I mean, there was this line from the CEO said they're facing a time of economic turmoil.
I saw that.
And they were looking to rein in costs. Well, when you're not developing 24 games at once, that's one way to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Harry Potter game didn't blow up.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean,
that's kind of scary if you have like an IP that big and like a track record as big as they have, for that not to work. That's a bust.
Exactly. That's like you had everything going for you, but you couldn't make it work,
Yeah.
It did say that they're shedding 8% of the staff too.
That's a bummer.
Scrapping 4 in development projects, which is a real bummer. I do, you do hear this stuff about like, oh, is the economy going to tank or whatever? So I'm not sure. I mean, he says it here.
I mean, how badly could they be doing?
Exactly. Who knows?
I mean, Nintendo owns part of Niantic a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
They've got some money somewhere.
It's confusing in the way that Nintendo owns a little bit of Pokemon.
And then our other story is another mobile one, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem. This is Fire Emblem Warriors. That's not the right game. Fire Emblem Heroes.
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yes. Nintendo's first $1 billion mobile game. Wow.
Wow. Congratulations. That one that's the one where I think you do have this really like dedicated fan base that's playing, and they are like reliable in which they give you money for those gotcha things.
Well, you got waifus, you got husbandos, and now you've got them in swimsuits.
Exactly.
So it's a magic formula.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You pay for the swimsuits. Okay. You're gonna pay.
I mean, when they say the new Fire Emblem swimsuits dropped, I'm definitely clicking on it. I'm definitely looking. I mean, so are you. So is everybody. Let's be honest about that.
No one be ashamed. This is an after dark production of the podcast. We're gonna.
They're in swimsuits. I mean, it's not that crazy. But yeah, definitely curious about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is good that they have one game that is, a hit, because otherwise their track record would be pretty spotty.
Exactly. It says the other games, Mario Kart Tour, Super Mario Run, if you add them together, it's still shy of $1 billion. It's like 883 million.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, Mario Run,
crazy.
Mario Run, I get why that was a smaller, just number, because it didn't really have microtransaction. It was just a set price.
Yeah, that's
Mario
true.
Kart Tour, I just can't get over that not being like the biggest game out there. Yeah. I don't understand. We actually have a question about Mario Kart Tour in our Q&A later on.
Yeah, we'll talk about it there.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's just like, Miitomo, this Animal Crossing game,
Dr. Mario,
and now it's just been kind of crickets for a while. So well, more swimsuits coming. That's my conclusion.
Let's get on the road to that second billion with the swimsuits. Yeah. I'm sure you can. Best of luck. All right. That is the news. Yeah, it's kind of a shorter news segment today, but it is what it is. But yeah, we have our full impressions.
Yes, please watch that.
All of the things that we talked about for the Nintendo Direct Mini in the reaction video. So we'll link it here.
And next is our questions from our Patreon community.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Questions from our beautiful Patreon family.
Yes, we've got some good ones. This first one is from Alatore05, and I think this one came through before the Direct happened, but it's still very valid. So it goes, if there ends up being no Direct after all, then certain things like Wave 2 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC and the first Mario Strikers DLC will just need to be shadow dropped. What are your thoughts and experiences with shadow drops? Are they an absolute pain, or are they a bit more flexible? Do you prefer things to be announced at all at once in a Direct, or shadow dropped on random days?
Good question. Me personally, I do like having things announced like all at once so I can plan for it and know when something is coming. The shadow drops are kind of fun. It's like a little bit like of a surprise. I do like the shadow drops they do sometimes in like the indie directs where it's like, oh, and these are the games available like right now that you've seen or whatever. That's kind of fun, but I feel like for bigger games or like even like DLC, it'd be great to know like when these updates are supposed to be happening so I can just plan for it,
I will say it's kind of amazing that Nintendo has this kind of lead in the shadow drop world where, they had so many great shadow drops in the indie showcase. Mm-hmm. They had that demo from this last Direct. Mm-hmm. There didn't seem to be many in the Xbox event or the PlayStation event. It's like, how did Nintendo get the monopoly on shadow drops knowing the eShop is like MacGyvered together with some gum and a paper clip? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know why either. Is it because these games are I don't know. I was gonna say these games are maybe a little bit smaller and maybe easier.
I don't really have a preference for, how it happens. I think the shadow drops are fun. It does obviously internally create some headaches that if it's done right, it's paid off. But it's like, well, we really do need to keep the secret. We do need to really, turn our keys at the same time to make sure nothing gets leaked.
Right.
Which, can be challenging, but obviously is a big payoff too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's something a little bit fun about having it be like, and it's available now. Oh my god, hype! Like
Right.
there is something fun about that. But yeah, I mean, for some of these bigger things, it's like, well, just tell me when the DLC. Like, give me a kind of like for this Mario Kart or this Striker stuff. It'd be great to just know like we'll be adding these characters in like the next 3 months or whatever, so we kind of know like what's happening.
It has been a while since the last Mario Kart 8 wave.
Yeah.
It feels like one of those should have come out by now. So
Yeah,
we're not going to know. They're not going to tell us.
It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Next question is from Chase Yama. Hey, Kit and Krysta, you guys have mentioned that you still had regular jobs at Nintendo while also making Nintendo Minute. I can't even begin to imagine how difficult it must have been to balance that, especially with the creativity that went into Nintendo Minute. I was wondering if you guys ever faced any kind of burnout, either with your regular jobs or with working on Nintendo Minute, and if so, how did you manage and cope?
I would say that Nintendo Minute always felt like a vacation to me. Like it always felt like this like reprieve from some of the really difficult days that I would have at my regular job at Nintendo. So I'd always, even if it was, extra time out of the day that would mean that I have to work an extra hour later that day to finish my regular job, I didn't mind it. I just wanted that break. And I wanted to have that, like, I wanted to go to the Nintendo Minute Island where I cannot worry about something, and just have fun for an hour and shoot a video, even if it meant like, more time out of my day.
Yeah, I mean, people define burnout differently. So I think it's like, it if you had it. I mean, there's definitely a grindy element to the like real side of our jobs because there's always another game that's coming out. There's always something else that needs your immediate attention.
Mm-hmm.
And the mindset at Nintendo is a very much like, what have you done for me lately kind of thing. So it could be like,
that's true.
Like, oh, well, I just helped launch this game that, broke these sales records. And it could be like, okay, well, that's great. But now there's this other game that's coming out in a month. And what are you doing for that?
Right.
Or again, we've talked about like the shifting sales goals. It'd be like, oh, you broke the record. Well, that's actually below the goal. So you suck. So
yeah,
that side of it got to be a bit much. And again, It's like, there were like 40, either games or projects or initiatives that we were supporting with like proper marketing plans.
Mm-hmm.
So just jumping, it did feel like a treadmill in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I used to call it the campaign treadmill.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was always good to find ways to get away from that. And I agree with you that Nintendo Minute was the reprieve from that. And I never felt that way with Nintendo Minute at all. That was always just wonderful.
Exactly. I would say like the other part of the burnout at Nintendo that was really tough for me and I think for you as well is because we worked on social media. We were a lot of times like trying to push a lot of like new and sometimes scary initiatives with the leadership team and also with the team in Japan. We always felt like we were like fighting this uphill battle to get people to understand like how creators are important and we should have a creator program. Like literally someone told me like, that's dumb, why would you even do that, like let's not have one at all. And I had to fight a battle to do something that is pretty obvious for other companies. And that got to be like a real grind. Like I was so tired of fighting after that. Like I just I couldn't fight anymore. I was exhausted. So yeah, I would definitely always use Nintendo Minute as like a break from that kind of stuff. And there was definitely some of those challenges that felt very, discouraging. And I felt very burnt out from that.
The other thing I'll say is, again, working, in social media specifically, that has a very around the clock nature to it, that kind of work, which coupled with being a very international company where you would be getting emails constantly from different people can start to wear on you.
Yes.
Because, like, oh, well, the direct's at 6 a.m. Pacific. It's like, well, there's actually a lot of people who are up at 6 a.m. Pacific making things happen, which means they probably had to get up at like, I don't know, 4:30 or something to feel prepared to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, maybe there was some announcement the next day that had to go out super early that, you know, nobody feels comfortable like scheduling things because it's like, well,
it's so sensitive.
I don't want to be responsible for leaking it. So I'll just get up at the crack of dawn to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the team had to do that. It's really tough on them.
Yeah. And, you know, everybody dealt with the international aspect of the job, but some of those other things were hard to get people to completely grasp how tiring they can be. And I mean, I think that's something that, you know, anybody working in social media deals with. And you're looking at sometimes, you know, some mean responses on the stuff that you're posting at 6 a.m., which isn't great.
Yeah. So you just feel kind of like discouraged and tired, like physically tired.
Right.
Yeah. And also, of course, being international, there's not only are you, you know, sometimes having to physically get up early, there's no end to that inbox. Like you clear your email at the end of the day and then you go to bed, you know, and then you wake up in the morning and there's like
it's flooded.
50 to 100 emails from Japan. And you're like, okay, then I'm again behind and I don't even know what this email says.
So again, we were very lucky to have Nintendo Minute as a, you know, getaway from that. Not everybody was. So I think we feel very lucky to have had that.
Exactly.
Next question. Maybe this is good to be the next one from Kai X. If Nintendo called and told you that they were reopening the Redwood City office and wanted you back with your old jobs, would you take it? What stipulations would you have for coming back?
I wouldn't take it. I have moved on, people. And I feel so good. You know, I feel like that chapter of my life, of my career has closed. And it closed in exactly, I mean, when it happened, it wasn't exactly what I expected. But when I finally left the company, it happened in the way where I was really happy with how it ended. Like I felt like I was able to accomplish all my career goals there. I was able to end Nintendo Minute in the way that that you and I both wanted to end it. We had like control over that moment, which I was so grateful for. I had, you know, made all these great friends and we're still friends today. And I felt like those relationships were like very much and will remain very much intact. And I was like ready, like at the end of that, I was like, I'm ready to move on to this like new thing. And I'm so happy like now that this is where we are. So no stipulations. I wouldn't go back.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we had some great times there. Obviously, you know, had to have been a lot of great times to work there for as long as we did. But I mean, you know, the process of moving on from a job that you've been at that long is very long and arduous. And you've got to go through like the mental ringer to make that happen. So the thought of like, oh, I'm just reversing all of that. It just seems like there's no way that could happen or that I would want to do that. So it's just like so arduous. It's like, we just have to keep moving forward here. Yeah.
It definitely would feel like a step backwards, which I'm not interested in.
Right. Yeah. Ducatista is hot on the rumor mill. Asks, since Metroid Prime 4 was announced back in 2017, there's been constant rumors every year regarding Prime 1, 2, and 3 coming to the Switch. Now there are rumors of a remastered HD version of Prime 1 for Switch. Do you think these ports will ever happen? Which iteration, the Wii era Prime collection or HD remasters? Do you enjoy the Metroid Prime series? Bonus question. Well, let's answer that before we get to the bonus question, because there's a lot there. We happened to find at the studio, you had a sealed copy of Metroid Prime Trilogy for Wii.
In a steel case.
Well, they're all in a steel case, but they're not all in that shrink wrap.
It's very, very precious. It's a precious baby.
That is. That was not one of his many questions.
No, I've played all of these games, obviously. And I would love to see a remaster of any of the Prime games. Bring it. What is the holdup? Bring it, Nintendo. I'm a fan. I would play any of them, all of them. Just bring it.
Obviously, we have no inside information on this at all. But I did see, you know, Mr. Jeff Grubb, hashtag friend of the show. Please call me Jeff. He has, I think, some good sources, and he seemed pretty confident about it. I mean, we wondered about this at Nintendo. It was like, where's Jeff
Right.
Grubb getting this information?
Somewhere. Somebody's uncle. For
So
sure.
yeah, I agree that it seems like a no-brainer. You know, those are classic, amazing games, and there's no
Yeah.
way to play them really
See, this
easily
is
now.
right. And this is where you have a bonus question that I'll bring up now about the HD remasters of Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. And I keep thinking to myself, it's like, they have this. They've made this. It's somewhere. Like, I don't know. This is my own speculation. I just feel like they have it, and they're just like sitting on these games, like waiting for the right moment or something to drop them. But it's like, just drop them. People will buy it. It'll be great. What's the
Yeah.
holdup? You know?
I mean, with Metroid Prime, the thinking could be like, well, we'll release that close to Metroid Prime 4 to get people in the
Sure.
mood and remember
Like,
how
hype
great
for
that
them.
series is,
Yeah.
which I can understand. But at the same point, it's like, just put it out.
Yeah. You
People
got
want
3.
this.
You can do 1 a year until that game
Yeah,
comes out. Because
yeah.
it's probably going to be
So-
how long it takes.
It's hard to make sense of some of these decisions, but
Yeah.
I sure hope those get out there because I'd like to
Yes.
replay those.
I would love to replay them, all of them, including Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. All of these games,
Including
I would happily...
Metroid Prime Federation Force? Oh my goodness. What a statement from you. You love that game.
That was not part of the question. It
That's
was
a
1, 2,
Metroid
3
Prime game.
It says 1, 2, 3 Prime.
Well, that's the one we'll get. Federation
We'll get
Force
right
Remastered
now!
HD.
Don't even put that thought into the universe.
Somebody's listening closely to this podcast. Yes, this is the move.
They're gonna do this to antagonize me. They're because I said mean things about strikers. They're like,
Yeah.
now we got her. Federation Force nonsense.
Next question from Fair. What are the things that Nintendo would have to add or change in Mario
yes.
Kart Tour for you guys to actually want to play it? Here's our big question on Mario Kart Tour.
What is about this game that has not jived with you?
I just don't think it plays all that well.
Yes.
You know, when I
it's the
think of Mario
controls.
Kart, I think of like a really tight control experience.
Yeah.
And with this one, it feels like either it's playing itself a lot of the time or I am
Mhm.
not in control. I mean, it's got a great selection of tracks. I like the characters. I like the kind of city or like region specific, country specific stuff they've
Mhm.
added. You've got Luigi and Lederhosen riding a sausage cart, which is awesome.
It's always great to see him.
So I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's been a long time since maybe I'm due to go back. I don't know.
To try, yeah, I only played this game for a little while when it first launched, and I think the biggest thing for me was the controls. Like I just did
Yeah.
not feel right. I think we're so used to actual like console Mario Kart games where, yeah, you have like, you know, this really, it feels so good. Like it just feels so clean, and it did not feel like that on mobile, and it just kind of felt like a bit of a mess control wise. So regardless of like the imaginative tracks and characters and sausages and lederhosen, it just it doesn't overshadow like the poor controls. But
Yeah.
maybe they made it better. I don't know. I haven't played for a long time, so I wouldn't know what it feels like right now.
All right. I'm shocked it's taken us this long to get this question.
Ah,
But Gar's all over it.
I'm in
Question
the
for
hot seat
Krysta.
now.
What are your thoughts on the Sonic games?
Mm.
Are there any that you've played that stick out or that you think are good or bad?
What if this is where I told you that I'm secretly like a diehard Sonic fan, but I've just hidden it
Wouldn't
from
shock me.
you? And I basically
That would make everything just click and make sense after all these years. Like,
Would you still be my
yes, that was the
friend?
missing piece.
Would you still be my friend if that
That was
was
the
case?
missing piece of the puzzle that is you.
But would you still be my friend
Oh,
if
sure.
that was the case? You would?
Yeah. I wouldn't just
No,
hang
you
up on you right
wouldn't.
now. Yeah.
You wouldn't. You would
No, I
totally
wouldn't.
ghost me after.
I made peace with that nice, the wonderful
I'm
Katie.
not her. My name is Krysta, not Katie.
Well, I'm just giving you an example.
Oh, this is
I can
terrible.
make peace with Sonic people.
You know what? I am very like neither here nor there on these Sonic games. Like I don't dislike Sonic the way that you do. I also grew up as such a Nintendo fangirl though. I did not have a Sega. I didn't have a Genesis. I didn't really grow up playing a lot of Sonic games. I definitely had some friends that played Sonic, and I would play when I was over at their houses. I think Sonic Colors is like the only one that sticks out to me as one that I may have played more than others. But I just don't have a very like I don't have that nostalgic relationship with Sonic the way I have with like Mario or like Zelda or whatever. So I don't dislike the way the games play. You know, I feel like some of the games are fine. They're fun, you know, but I just don't have like a connection to the character. So I feel like I'm not like I'm not like gonna fight the Sonic battle here.
And
I don't care.
you have not seen the Sonic movies?
I have not seen the Sonic movies. No.
Mm.
Again, because I don't really like know the characters that well. Like I feel like I wouldn't. I mean, I'm happy to watch it. I love bad, good, all movies. So I'm not discerning about this. But I just again, it hasn't interested me because I don't have like any sort of like I don't have any sort of connection with any of the characters.
This
so
is where I give my plug. We get to 50,000 followers on YouTube. It's going to be Sonic Week on Kit and Krysta. We got the podcast. We got the show. Maybe we'll do like a movie watch along. Like
we
play
should.
this while you watch the movie.
Yeah, we should do that. And like
just
again,
me gagging for an hour and a half.
I'm a sponge. I can soak. What if I at the end of Sonic Week? I'm like I'm a fan.
Where are you going with this? Oh, so you could become a Sonic fan by the end of Sonic Week.
Yeah, because like I don't have any like ill feelings towards this character or these games. But I have not spent a significant amount of time in this universe. Because
but it could go the other way. You could end up like me.
Exactly.
Radicalized.
Guys. So I mean I would love to soak it in for a week and see what happens.
What if you become like you surpass me as a Sonic hater?
What
that could be exciting.
What if we flip flop? Like, what if you become a Sonic lover and I become a Sonic hater?
Oh, see, I don't think that's realistic.
Well, you don't know.
See, it's like Star Wars, where there's like the master and the apprentice, and I'm the master Sonic hater.
No, you're not.
And then you take me out. You take me out, and you become the master, and then you have to get your own apprentice. Who will take you out next?
Nobody.
It's the vicious cycle. That's the vicious Sonic cycle. That's not the cute Sonic cycle people know about. We got to move on.
Okay.
Mad Dog 5981 asks, while working at Nintendo, were there any perks for employees that leveraged Nintendo's large back catalog of hardware and games? For example, an on-site arcade with old systems or a lending library where you could check out old consoles and games to take home. Well, in the Redmond headquarters, they did have all those old Nintendo arcade games, but you dare not touch them.
You can't. They're behind like glass.
Do not touch those.
And you can't take photos of them either. So that was kind of sad.
You could look.
But it was there. It was like a museum.
You could admire them. Those were cool. I mean, they're cool to see.
They're really cool to see, yeah. We also did have these garage sales that were kind of neat. At the end of each year, we would just do a collective, office clean out. And every department would submit stuff to the garage sales. You get all sorts of things. There are definitely some, interesting like props from advertising shoots or like weird giveaways that were never given away. But there's also like a lot of good like legacy games and stuff. Like we used to hunt around in there. Like you bought me some legacy games.
That Pokemon clock.
I did. Yeah.
Which has to be extremely old because it says Pocket Monsters.
It does.
And it has like a lot of the old designs. I don't know, maybe we can include a picture of it here.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm very like, I'm like, what is this?
And why did we make it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bizarre, but I'm like, this thing could, I need to take this to like Antique Roadshow or something because this could be worth like millions of dollars. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Like we would always find something for each other. It was kind of fun. Like you bought me like that game Meteos. You bought me Chrono Trigger. It was like 90.
It was like 99% like Disney Infinity junk and like whatever Just Dance 2017.
Or like old Wii remotes.
But then you would find something that was like, oh, wow, this is great.
Then you find a Pokemon clock or the DS version of Meteos. And
it got very contentious though, because it was like it was basically like a raffle to determine the order.
Right.
So like you could pull the short straw and be like, well, I can't go until the end of the day, or it's like, well, I pulled first, but I have a big meeting that I can't skip. What can I do? And they'd be like, too bad, buddy. It's like,
yeah. If it was picked through, then you don't have a chance.
I started to get upset with it by the end.
It was kind of rigged because when I used to do it, I would just pull a time and then I would just talk to the person that was running the garage sale and they'd just let me go.
Or it was, if you volunteer to work the garage sale, you get a first run through it, which I would love to do, but I don't have the time to do that.
Yeah. It was kind of like people that had like things that they had to do during the day. It was kind of tough for them to be that volunteer for like 2 hours, like you couldn't do it. But we still scored some really good stuff from garage sales.
I got a sealed in-box Game Boy printer, which is going to pair very nicely with this Game Boy camera that I got recently.
Yeah.
We're going to do something with that.
We're going to do something with this.
What exactly? I don't know, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, there's not as many like sort of like stuff that Nintendo did officially with all of their older games and stuff, which is what's worrying for me, actually. I'm like, are you guys going to save these things?
Malferink has the next question. There's honestly one thing that I always wanted to know. What is your opinion on the Tomb Raider series? It's one of my all-time favorite franchises next to the likes of Zelda, but I have a really hard time grasping its popularity nowadays. I've been a big fan of the franchise since 1996 when the first game came out. Have you played any of these classics? Did you play the recent reboot trilogy? I'm dying to hear both of your thoughts.
Tomb Raider.
Are you a Tomb Raider mega fan?
I'm a Tomb Raider fan, but I'm not a Tomb Raider mega fan, I don't think. But
now, what is your era of Tomb Raider?
I played the 1996 era.
The originals.
The originals.
Wow.
Yeah. And I also did play one of the remakes, but I found it to be extremely violent.
It was
bloody and like she would like fall on like a bed of spikes, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It would like shocked me.
It was a little over the top with that stuff,
right? Okay, was it just? I thought it was just me, but I was like, "This feels like a little much."
They made three. They made a trilogy out of those, as he notes. I played the first two of those. I thought those two were great. I mean, aside from that weird gory stuff, I thought those were really good games.
They were really good. Yeah, they were really good. I think I played the first one, but I don't think I played the second one, actually.
I didn't really like the originals, though.
Oh.
I thought they were a little clunky in the ways that some early like PS1 games could be.
Oh, I didn't mind it.
Where it's like, I kind of see the promise of this, but I don't really have a good time playing it.
I like the character a lot. I think this is like a thing. It's like, I'm a girl, you're a girl. Like we could do a thing, you know? Like back in the 1996.
That's how an adventure begins.
I'm a girl, you're a girl. We could do a thing.
Let's do something.
Let's do something. Girl.
Yeah, girl.
Okay. Again, back in like 1996, there's not very many women
true,
in a video
true.
game. Like Samus, okay, Princess Zelda, but also she was not really like playable, so she was like, just getting kidnapped or whatever. Not as not as cool as Lara Croft. And then you're like, oh, she's so cool. Like that's awesome to see a woman do.
I'll ask you again. Okay. Have you seen the Tomb Raider movies?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there was Angelina Jolie for a while.
Angelina Jolie.
But they did another one recently.
With Alicia
Vikander.
Vikander, who's beautiful. And
Vikander, yeah. What?
Yeah, she was in Ex Machina, one of my favorite movies of all time. Yes.
So you've seen all the Tomb Raider movies?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like Tomb Raider. I like it.
Wow,
okay?
I didn't know you were so big into Tomb Raider.
Really? No, I love Tomb Raider. Come on.
Malferink is hyped right now.
Yeah, you and I could watch a movie. Like, yes.
Okay.
Get on our level.
I have not seen a Tomb Raider movie.
Seriously? None?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe
Are
like
you serious?
halfway on an airplane, maybe. I don't know.
I think they're easily accessible. Amazon Prime, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah. Those are good. I mean,
set me straight.
Well, I have my thing is I can watch any bad movie and I think it's fine because I have a very low, like any movie I'm like, this is fine. This is entertaining. I don't care. Like any bad movie that everyone's like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen, and I'm like, oh, I didn't think it was that bad. So don't trust me because I'm like, I have a low.
Well, don't undersell this. You had a good thing going with Tomb Raider right now.
Yeah, hype. All right.
Our very last question. Robert's Faison It's a great question. What are your favorite set pieces used at major events such as E3, and does Nintendo just throw them into long storage afterwards?
They throw them into a fire and burn it,
Well, I mean, they might be thrown into the garbage, to be honest.
It's a trash can.
Depending what it is.
My favorite set piece is the Guardian statue from the Breath of the Wild booth. And that one they didn't burn in a horrible dumpster fire. They put it outside in the right outside the headquarters in Redmond's cafeteria, so we'd look at it, and it was beautiful. But they had this weird thing. They were like, we'll just leave it outside, and when it gets too raggedy, we'll just throw it in the trash. I'm like, what?
Well, they said also, like, we think this will be good for another, like, 6 months to a year. But it really, like, was going strong.
For like years, and it would get snowed on, and it looked really cute in the snow with the the snowflakes on it.
Well, it looked amazing, but that was another one where you dare not take a picture.
No, they wouldn't let you take a picture of it, not on campus. No way. But some of the other ones, like the Odyssey one, they threw that away. Like, it is gone. Well, yeah.
I liked for Skyward Sword on Wii, there was a loft wing that was suspended from the rafters.
That one's probably gone too.
That one was great. Yeah, that's no longer with us probably.
That's like a paper mache.
Yeah, I mean every year they had something that was great.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty. Stuff was
remember the life-size Gooigi?
The Gooigi.
That was really cool.
I think that some of those might be okay still, because they did ship those statues around after E3 for events, but yeah, some of the bigger ones, when we asked them, they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna dismantle it and throw it away." We're like,
not a statue, but there is also an inflatable Kirby costume that seems interesting. I mean, it has like a camera inside of it because you can't exactly see. So there's like you get like a video image of what's in front of you.
The camera is like in the mouth of Kirby, and you look at that screen,
right? But because it's inflatable, like some of the moves it can do seem kind of neat.
Yeah, you basically like do a little, like you can bounce around, and like the little arms is cute.
Right.
It was like it was, and like the outside of it was also like furry, so you could like hug it. And
right. Like nice. I mean, I'll never know. I'm far too large to go in any of these things. On the other hand,
I've been in the I'm a little short. Mario costume, you have to be like 5'2".
I'm a little short.
I'm 4'11", so I had to like the pants are a little long for me. But there is a video of Mario. We can link. This is one of my favorite videos that we've ever made. But it was for the launch of Super Mario Odyssey, and we did like Mario at all these like great IRL locations around the country, and the one where he's in the Redwood Forest was me. That's me in the costume.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's trivia.
It was really cool. All right.
It is time.
End of the questions.
It's time to read off our wonderful One-Up Club members. This is a perk that you can get at patreon.com/KitandKrysta if you join our One-Up Club.
Yeah.
Get a shout out every week.
Yes, you get this great shout out. We call it the One-Up Club graduation ceremony. So shall I go first again?
Please.
Okay, here we go.
Do the honors.
A. Ron Burgundy.
Aaron Hash.
Adam Edwards.
Ajan Malari.
Ali Alejandro.
Alexandra Pratt.
Amaris.
Andre NYH.
Angela Bycroft.
Bagel.
Ben Ekhorn.
Bettina Tsang.
Brad SF56.
Candace Roper.
Kat Laurie.
Christopher Lay.
Captain Alex.
Daniel Valencia.
Dachshund.
Doodoo Face.
Douglas Chomix.
Ducatista.
Dino Punch.
Eigenverse.
Elite Peach.
Espars 50.
Ezrato.
Fairbound.
Gar.
Garrett Hullfish.
Handsome Warrior.
Ian Shea.
Israel Izzy.
Jay Rando.
Jackie Z.
Jason E.
JK99.
JBJ.
Jeff Yoakum.
Jeffrey Hernandez.
Jesse Hernandez.
Jobert.
John Responte.
Jonathan Rowe.
Jordan Collette.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joshua Clements.
Juan.
Just Camtro.
Kai Commercia.
Kawa 2796.
Kevin.
Kevin Delane,
K Madman TV,
Kyle Kretzer,
Kyler Nelson,
Lego My Froggo,
Link,
Lit,
Lucamania,
Louis Pico.
Luis,
Oh, Lucas Pico, sorry. Mamu.
Marky, God,
Oh, no,
keep it
these are
together. Marky Man 64,
Maru Mayhem,
Matthew Rewald,
Megan,
Mega Z 23,
Michael Cravens,
Michael J. File,
Michael Mazer,
Mike Chin,
Mikey,
Murph,
My Tran,
Nodnarb,
Oh Me Oh My,
Panda Buns,
Parker Anderson,
Patreon user,
Paul Gale Network,
Piano Psychopath,
PS Wee,
Reaver,
Rad State of Mind,
Rain Tech,
Ray Chiron,
Reiji Utsuho Oku,
RJ Kern,
Rob Osborne,
Rox,
Roy Eschke,
Ryan Hayes 521,
Rianetta,
Sam Nealand,
Scott LaRock,
Safazon,
Shinryu,
Slowbro,
Schmiggles,
Spicy Munchkin,
Steel Citrone,
Switching It Up _
The Don Rob,
The Shark Among Men,
Thomas Alvarez,
Troopage,
Tug's Puppy Bear,
Tyler Geis,
Ultimate Flapjack,
VGM Life,
Video Game Stupid,
Beautiful Dandy,
Virtual Bot,
Wicked Davy,
Will Ernst,
Zoodiverf.
and Zen.
Whew! Oh, it's hard to
Two important
do this
details.
remotely.
We did confirm that Switching It Up wants the underscore at the end, so we've been doing it right.
That's
That's
true.
good to know. The second,
Yes.
you may notice Pirates TCG Grudges Forever is no longer on the list. Don't worry. That person, my friend, has just changed their name to something else. So clearly he listened to my great explanation and had enough of that. Don't worry.
Oh, this is going to be like bad for your friendship.
No,
bad for
it's
your
not.
Healing,
You know what was bad
your
for
healing
friendship? Getting
process.
stabbed in the back playing a Pirates tabletop
Maybe
game.
I
Don't do
should-
that.
In my role as mediator, maybe I should
No.
help with a
too
mediation
late.
between you two.
No.
Just like with you and Katie
No.
from Sonic.
This is way worse than that.
Oh, it's so sad. I wish everyone would just get along. All right. Well, this was a great, fun remote show that we just
We
did.
did it. We pulled it
is
off.
10 o'clock at night now, so we're gonna wrap it up. Go to bed.
Past your
all right.
bedtime. Oh no.
It's past my bedtime. I need a cozy game, and I need to get into bed.
I can tell you're getting a little.
Um,
You get that far off look in your eye, like. Oh.
I feel like I'm getting like a little glassy eyed, right? Like a little bit. I'm an early to bed kind of person. Early to bed, late to rise kind of person. I like to sleep. All right. We need to wrap this up. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. New month, so a full month of benefits. I hope you guys jump on. We do have an annual option as well, which saves you a little bit of money, but there's tons of really cool perks, different levels to think about if you're thinking about joining. So we hope that you take a look and join our family. Don't forget to follow us on our other social channels. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube, all/Kit and Krysta. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment, and tell us what you thought of the show. And also, we want to know about your pay for it on Switch or get it free on Game Pass choices and answers. So tell us. All right. Is that it? Did I
That's
do
it.
it?
Time to hit the hay.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. Good